How often have you seen these claims that say that you have to do this specific exercise to get rid of hip dips, or that you need to eat this food item in order to reach a certain body fat percentage, or maybe that you need to buy a supplement in order to reach a specific dream physique? Probably pretty often. And I know that it can make it super overwhelming and complicated when you try to navigate or find your way in this health and fitness space. And you're just someone who tries to reach a certain goal, but then you get bombarded by all these different angles of information, often contradicting each other, saying that you should do this or that you shouldn't do that, but that you should do something else. And it's a mess. It's chaos. So in today's video, I wanted to explain in a super simple way the very simple approach to reaching your dream physique, because honestly, it isn't that complicated. That doesn't mean that it's easy, because it requires a lot of effort, but it is definitely simple. So starting off by being completely transparent, the reason why people make those claims is because it gets them attention. And attention can be monetized. So that's the reason why you have so many contradicting things on the internet. The reason why I'm making this video is because I want to build and create a community of women who are absolutely winners. So I want to give you as much information and tips and tricks as I possibly can and have learned over the years, and I'm still learning because I'm still a work in progress. And then you can put that to work and reach your full potential, become a better version of yourself. I want to earn your trust that way by showing you that you can do it yourself. And then hopefully down the line, if you've reached your results, you'll trust me. And then if I launch my fitness app, you might consider subscribing to my fitness app. That's the reason why I do what I do. When I think about, or when I talk about a dream physique for women, I assume that most women want to achieve a toned physique. So a toned physique is a physique where you will see a bit of muscle definition, but it's not anything super muscular. Now there can be different levels of curves to this. So I think on one end of the spectrum, you'll have these traditional supermodels who usually still have a bit of muscle definition. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have curvy women who also show muscle definition, but overall have a larger percentage of body fat. Now, if you can't relate to my definition of what I think most women are looking for in their dream physique, that's absolutely fine. Obviously, there are so many things that you might want to achieve or that you can agree or disagree with, but then this video probably isn't for you, because this is the definition that I'm referring to when I'm talking about how you can reach this physique. So as I said, there are different levels of toned. Some include a smaller physique and some include a more curvy physique. But the outcome is usually the same. It's a level of body fat percentage that allows some of the muscle that you've built to peek through. Now, there are two things required for this. On one end, you have muscle definition. Obviously, you need to have some muscle build up in order for any muscle to peek through anything. And then on the other end, you have your body fat percentage. Because if your body fat percentage is too high, then a layer of fat will be covering your muscles and you won't be able to see any of it peek through. How to get it? Let's start with resistance training. So resistance training is a very good way to build muscle definition, because the principle of resistance training is that you progressively overload over time. So over time, you'll keep exposing your muscles to increased training stimulus. They have to react, they have to adapt, and therefore you can keep building muscle mass. So basically, when you walk up the stairs, it requires a certain amount of effort. Once you're able to walk up the stairs, you can then jog up the stairs. At first, you'll notice like it will be tough and you might breathe heavy, but then if you keep training, then eventually it will be easy for you to jog up the stairs. So you adapt it to the training stimulus. And then the thing that you can try next is that you run up the stairs. And then again, you'll notice like you're heavily breathing, like it's hard for you. You might get cramps in your quads. But then if you keep working on it, eventually your body will adapt and you'll be able to run up the stairs. That is basically progressively overloading over time. So you'll keep increasing the training stimulus and then your body needs to adapt. You can take this very far. So you can basically build a very, very bodybuilder, athletic physique through this training principle, but you don't have to. Like you can also stop once you're at a level that you're comfortable with, that you think is really nice, then you can maintain it. Maintaining is easier than building. So if I need to put in X effort in order to build muscle, it will take me half of the effort to maintain it. So if I now go to the gym maybe 2 times a week and I do a full body split, I'll be able to maintain the muscle that I've built. But if I really want to focus on building my physique and increasing my muscle mass, then I might have to go more frequently. I might have to train harder or push myself more in the gym. So when it comes to resistance training and you really want to build your muscle definition, then I always say that it is best to stick to a schedule. The reason is that a schedule is usually made by someone who hopefully knows what they're doing, and they will automatically make sure that you progressively overload with different phases, and it basically gets all the guesswork out of what you're doing. So you only have to make sure that you practice your form, that you have good form, and that you do what the schedule says, and that you stick to the rest periods, and that you make sure that you recover properly before you do your next training session. If you don't have a workout schedule, that's fine as well. One of the things that I would suggest you to do if you really want to build muscle definition is to make a plan for yourself. And in that plan, try to make sure to train every muscle group that you want to train at least twice a week, because training 2 times a week allows you to make significantly more progress than only training once. Then in terms of exercise selection, you can obviously vary a bit, you can go into depth with this, but usually the more frequently you train, the less volume you need, so the less exercises you need per workout. But let's say that you want to do 5 exercises per workout, then the first exercise that you want to start with is the exercise that you have most energy for. So that's your main thing that you want to focus on increasing. We'll put a compound exercise there. So this is your main lift. This is maybe a squat variation or a deadlift variation. Maybe you can even do like a pull-up here. And then the other exercises you can think of maybe putting some unilateral work there. Maybe you can put some isolation exercises in. Now that you've created this plan for yourself, which is obviously a very simplified version, but just to show you that it doesn't have to be complicated, now what you're going to do is you're going to stick to the plan for multiple weeks. Don't change anything, just try to improve over time. So either lift heavier, lift slower, take less rest, like any of these factors that you can influence, just try to do a little bit better each session, but stick to the same complete week for 6 weeks, 4 weeks. But don't change your workouts every single session or every single week because it's not needed. In terms of exercise selection, stick to the basics. You see so many variations on social, but you can just stick to the things that have worked years ago because they've proven to stand the test of time and they will continue to work years from now. So the general exercises. Usually most machines that you see in the gym, machines are great. You can use machines, but also your squats, your deadlifts, your presses, your rows, your pulls, just the simple stuff. And then get focused. Stay in the zone, stick to your schedule, and stick to it for consecutive weeks. Because if you keep changing things over time, it's really hard to make sure that you are indeed progressively overloading. So just don't look at all the noise, cancel it out, just do as your plan says that you should do. So that was the muscle building part, the part where we progressively overload our muscles over time to make sure that we can actually build muscle tissue. But in order for your body to build muscle tissue, to get that muscle definition, we need to make sure that our food is aligned with our training. And we need to make sure that it does 2 things actually. So we want to create that dream physique by building a bit of muscle mass, but then also we want to have a certain body fat percentage that allows that muscle definition to kind of pop through. What I found over the years, and I've tried tracking macros, I did if it fits your macros, and people always said like it doesn't really matter what you eat as long as you get a certain amount of calories in, or you get a certain ratio of macros in, or you eat enough protein, then nothing else matters. Like I've heard so many things, and it's kind of true, but it's kind of not true, because it really does matter what you're eating. Because if you eat healthy, you'll feel much better, you'll perform much better, and overall your body just works so much better because your gut health is really important for your overall health. It's even important for your brain health. So I would always say try to eat healthy. Eating healthy can look quite complicated. I always like to try to keep it very simple, and I try to keep it simple by just sticking to the basic ingredients. So I try to make sure that the main part of my diet consists of foods that aren't processed. So that's key. If you really truly want to reach your full potential or reach your dream physique, it's not required to eat healthy, because you can do a lot if you don't eat healthy but still eat the right macros, which I'll talk about in a second. But still, I would advise you to prioritize your health, because the ultimate goal here is to live as healthy as we can and enjoy our time here. So you can't expect a Formula One car to be first at a race if you put frying oil in it. Like, it doesn't work like that. You need to have the right amount of fuel, the right type of fuel. It just needs to make sense in order for the car to reach its full potential and cross that finish line. So that's what we're trying to, get towards here. And then also try to eat colorful things if you can, because if you eat colorful things, then usually that means that you get a variety of micronutrients, vitamins, and minerals in, which will really benefit your health as well. Then in terms of macros, if you want to decrease your body fat percentage, it's really simple. You need to eat less than what you need in order to maintain the same size. So you either need to eat less than what you burn, or you need to burn more than what you eat. Protein is really important if you want to build muscle mass, because your body requires protein through your diet in order to actually build the muscle tissue. So they often say in the bodybuilding world to aim for 1 gram of protein per pound of body mass, which is more accurate for a leaner individual compared to someone who has a high body fat percentage. What I usually do is I just try to aim for 30 or 40 gram of protein per actual full meal. And that also really helps me with making sure that I get enough protein in during the day, so I get a more of an even distribution. And then another thing that's really important is your fat, actually. The fat that you eat through your diet. So your macros consist of protein, fats, and carbs. And often fats are, they get a bad rap because people think that they will make you fat, which they're really important for your hormonal health. So make sure that you get enough fat in as well, and then the rest can be carbs. And then with carbs, you try to focus on complex carbs. Now, if you've been doing this and you've built a bit of muscle in the gym and you think that you're ready to kind of review it, if it isn't showing yet, it depends on your starting body fat percentage. If you are a leaner individual, then just building muscle mass will already help you to get that defined look. If you are a larger individual or someone with a higher body fat percentage, then you can go ahead and build some muscle in the gym, but then you probably need to decrease your body fat percentage in order for your muscles to actually pop through, because now a layer of fat is covering it. So in order to lose fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit, which means that you need to eat less than what you're burning, or you need to burn more than what you're eating. I love setting this off by keeping my intake the same as what I did, the healthy version that I just explained, but then increasing my activity, because I feel that that really helps with improving your cardio. It will just make everything so much better. So I love to just eat the same, but then move more. If that isn't doable for you, then you can also decide to eat a little bit less. Usually I would cut carbs a bit, because again, your fats and your protein are really important for your hormonal health and either building or keeping your muscle tissue when you're in a deficit. So that's your muscle building and your diet. And some other things that are really important as well is that you need to make sure that you get enough sleep in, that you recover well, because if that is lacking, then your body simply has no energy or no room to even build muscle mass, and you won't feel your best, you won't be able to put in the effort. Also, when you are sleep deprived, it's harder to stick to your diet, you're maybe more moody, life is just harder. So try to focus on getting enough sleep in and getting enough quality sleep in if you can, and also make sure that you recover. So don't do too much. Make sure that your body is actually able to reset itself so that it's ready for the next session. Don't expect results to happen overnight, because they won't. It will take a while, but that's also what makes the journey so valuable. You need to get comfortable with the idea of delayed gratification, putting in the work now to reap the benefits later, because once that later is here, because that will be, because tomorrow comes disguised as today, at one point in your life, you'll reach that later that you dream of now. You have that result, and then it will be worth having it, because it's not easy to achieve. And you know it, because if it was so easy, everyone would have it, and then it wouldn't even be worth it. And then one thing I wanted to end with is don't feel obliged to stick to specific beauty standards. It is your life. It is your journey. You can make your life look like however you want it to look like. You can do whatever you want to do. You can achieve anything you want to achieve. It's just about reaching your full potential, and it's all about what that looks like to you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and then I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.